Hello.
Hey, Shah.
Hi, Amit. How are you? Thank you so
Good,
much
good,
for
good.
starting the show for us today. I was
No
stuck
worries.
on the 880, so I'm going to take over now. Hopefully,
Yes,
you're done. And thank you so much again, and thank you, Nate, for being
no
on
worries. Thank you.
helping me today. And ladies and gentlemen, this is attorney Shah Peerally. And you're done, Amit. I can go ahead and
All
take
done.
over.
Have a great day. I'll be back next week. Thanks for having me early this time on that one. So,
Thank you so much, Amit. So,
thanks.
ladies and gentlemen, now I certainly Shah Peerally, and we're going to discuss, of course, about immigration law and also about debt settlement. And just to start today, anything I'm telling you today is for educational purposes only. You should not act or fail to act solely on the information provided. You should contact an attorney if you have any questions. The lines are open 408-912-5565. Today is I think March 30th, if I'm not mistaken, and we are doing the show live, and I have Nate on the board with me. And Nate, please let me know if there. I think we have some callers. Let me take the callers, and then we'll discuss as we go. This is Shapra. You're live in air. Hello.
Hello? Yeah,
Yes,
can
sir.
you hear me?
Yes, sir. I can hear you properly. Go ahead. I'm listening to you.
Yeah. Good morning, Shah.
Good
So,
morning.
I am in OPT extension and my university lost the accreditation. So, I'm
Mhm.
filing the H1 this year. So, I'm kind of confused whether to file in master's quota or general quota.
Okay.
My employer is suggesting to do in masters, but when I inquire with other colleagues, other friends of mine, their employers are suggesting in general. So I'm
Yeah.
kind of confused which one to do.
Okay, beautiful. Well, unfortunately, yes, this is what happened. We are recommending people to do a regular quota. The reason for that is because we have a situation and we have a situation where if in case it goes there and there are major issues on the quota itself, what will happen? You're going to, even if they accept the case at a later stage and even approve, they can take away your H1B. So it's too risky to file under the school. Although technically, if the school was accredited at the time, they should.
Uh-huh.
The time is unfortunately to take the chance of filing it without that is not worth it. So the best is to just file under regular quota. Although there might be a chance they will accept it in the master's quota, especially when you graduated if it was
Yes.
an accredited school, but the risk is kind of high. So we are leaving it to the people, but we are recommending not to file on the master's quota. Okay?
So if at all they process in master's quota and it gets processed successfully, are there still chances during amendment or extensions?
Yes.
Because
Yes, I'll tell you why.
colleges.
Because I had
Uh-huh.
situations before, back in the days when people were doing through the master's quota, they were not that picky. Some school were not public school, for example, or they were not non-profit. So technically, they were not supposed to be in master's quota, but they were accepting them in master's quota. And then 3 years later, when people were renewing their H1B, they got a letter of the notice of intent to revoke, stating that the school was not shouldn't doesn't qualify for the master's quota, and they're taking away the H1B. So based on that, I'm going to recommend not to file under the master's quota. Okay.
Okay. All right.
Okay. Good luck to you.
Yeah.
Let me take
Yeah.
another caller. This is Shapra. You are live on air.
Hi, sir. Thank you for your service. I have a
You're
question on my
welcome.
H1. So I'm on seventh year of H1 and I have extension till 2019. So my question is, so if I can I go back on, can I go on H4 and come back on H1 later on the same H1?
Yes, if you are cap exempt, yes. How many years have you used your H1B? You said
So I'm on seventh year now.
seventh year. But do you
Yes.
have an I-140 approved?
Not yet. So my perm is in process yet.
Okay, you can move to H4, and once you get the I-140 approved, yes, you can move back to the H1. So, but you need to have an I-140 approved. Without that, you won't be able to move back to H1. Okay?
Oh, okay. So I
Okay.
need to have I-140 for doing that.
Yes, unless you leave the country for 1 year and come back. Just because you move on H4 for 1 year will not reset the time. Okay, you have to be outside the country to reset, or an I-140 has to be approved. Okay.
But my H1 is till 2019. Even then, I have to.
Yes, because if it is 2019 now, if you move to H4, that time will stop. You cannot continue that time unless you have an I-140. This time was given only once. It was probably given when you had an I-140, right? And it was revoked after that?
No, it was not based on I-140. It was based on my perm application.
Okay, so it was based on a pending perm, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so is the perm still pending? Same perm?
Still pending. It's still pending, yeah.
So you will be getting an additional 1 year extension, but not 3 years. So in your case, it is recommended not to move to H4, stay on the H1. But if you want to move to H4, it's fine. But you might not be able to move back to the H1 unless the perm is still pending 365 days or an I-140 is approved. Okay, or an appeal on the perm or something. Okay.
Okay.
Good luck to you. Let me take another caller. And this is Shah Peerally. You are live on air.
Hi, sir.
Yes. Hi.
I have a question. So, I have I-140 approved, and if I move to next company now, I moving to next company, and I got 3 years extension. So my question is like, if in next 3 years, if my next company is not able to do my I-140, so whether I will get another extension on my previous I-140?
Yes. As long as you have an I-140 in your hand, doesn't matter which company, you can do an extension. Okay, so it's not about which, if the same company has an I-140. The only time they will refuse you probably an I-140 if the dates become current and you already moved to another company and you're not able to file the I-485. But apart from that, the rule just requires I-140 somewhere. But if the I-140 is revoked, well, right now they cannot revoke it, but let's say they can revoke it, then you won't be able to get an extension. Okay?
Okay, great. Thank you. Thanks
Good
a
luck
lot.
to you. Let me take another caller. This is Shah Peerally. You're live on air.
Hi, good morning, Shah. This is Raj from Washington.
Yes.
I have a quick question. I am in one IT company for last 14 years, and I have a H-1B which is valid till 2018, and a green card I-140 approved a year back. My project is going to go end for next 3 months, but I do not have a confirmation on the next project. But I have an opportunity in a Deloitte company now, so they are ready to transfer my H-1B. But I have not taken a decision. If they transfer my H-1B and if I don't join them, or if I join after 6 months, so having H-1B active in 2 companies, will that create any issues? I just need your suggestion on that.
No, it's not an issue because you are not really using both of them. Even you're using doesn't matter, because as long as none of them are canceling it, you can use it. But make sure you pick one unless you put it on part-time and concurrent H-1B. So, no, it's not a problem. So if they file it and they have it, they don't revoke it, you can always move to the other company. But make sure that if in case they're changing your location or something, even with the new company, they do an amendment. So that's the only issue. But there's no issue really to have both running. Okay?
And if I don't join the company after transfer also, or if I wait for 6 months on Deloitte company, so that is not a problem, right? I can still continue back with the same company. I don't need to join the new company, right? Even if the file transfer H-1B.
Exactly. That's an election. You can elect to go or not to go. It's called an election. That means not election in terms of general elections, but the election means your choice. Okay? You choose.
Okay, and other question is like Deloitte. I'm not sure whether they will be okay with the green card processing. Are there any layoffs recently? I'm not sure. So will that create any issue if they have some issues with the green card processing? And so after so many years spending in company, going to that Deloitte company, will that be a good idea? Or?
Well, I cannot analyze a specific company on the radio, but only thing I can tell you, if they have layoff, you'll have problems regarding ultimately getting them to refile for your green card. That's something that you have no choice. Any company will be the same problem unless they already file your I-140. Okay?
And looking at the current situation on H-1B, all those premium processing, all those things, is it a good idea to change the company now? Because I don't see any project happening in my current company, and I do not want to be in risk.
It's very difficult to tell like that. I need to kind of do a specific analysis depending on many factors, right? For example, how the company is doing, and if they don't have projects for you and you're moving to another company, will they file your green card? And that's very hard to tell in general terms. Usually we can do that. If you want to give us a call, we can do a consultation, then I can go over it. But I don't recommend people moving unless you're getting in a better company. And in your case, seems like you are, so you might want to consider that. But if the matter of the green card is a problem, they will not do your green card, then you're going to be having issues down the road if the dates become current or something. So it's a case-by-case basis when it comes to moving or not moving. In general terms, we are not recommending moving, especially premium is not there. But not having premium there doesn't mean you cannot move, and that's an important point. Since you are mentioning it, I'm going to talk about this. A lot of people are panicking because there's no premium, but you can still do a transfer, and under AC21 Rule 105, you can actually start working for that company on the day that you file it. The risk is that if the case gets denied, then you are in trouble, or if you have to do a consular processing when you have to leave the country or not. So that's where we have a problem. But if you're getting a better company, it's time to consider it. And maybe if you want me to kind of go into details on the specific company, which I cannot do on the radio, give me a call at the office. We'll do a private consultation. Okay? Okay?
Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. And you're calling from Washington, you say? So you're listening to me
yes.
there? Okay,
yes,
great. Thank you. Say hi to everybody in Washington. We have a branch actually in Washington. So
cool, I didn't know that.
Yeah, it's in DC, and so if anybody needs help there, we'll be glad to help. Okay, so thank you so much.
Brings up another question for me. Like after H-1B transfer file, like if I join the new company, if I travel to India and coming back, all these years I have H-1B on one company, and if when I'm going for stamping in India with a different company, that won't have any issues, right?
No, it doesn't have an issue if you do a good transfer already here, and if you have a stamp on your passport, you don't need a new stamping. Okay?
No, yeah, right. But I need to have a new stamping because it's already over.
Okay, yeah, then it won't be an issue. But there are many other issues now before people traveling. That's why most lawyers are saying not to travel unless necessary now. Okay? Or you have a very good company you're working with.
Yeah.
Good luck to you, and thank you, and say hi to everybody in Washington. Let me take another call on it. I think the lines are full. This is Shah Peerally. You're live in here.
Yeah, hello. So I filed my H1 extension like 2 weeks back, and what happened was we got an MSA from MSA agreement from prime vendor and the client. Like mine is an EVC model, so there is a prime vendor in between. So I got an MSA from prime vendor and the client, and which had an end date of March 30th. And then we also had an email saying that the contract would be extended for 3 more years. So my employer kept the MSA and the email as a cover letter, but I got an RFE asking for an extended MSA. Now, there are chances that the prime vendor might not get an extended MSA because client is kind of going on a budget cut, and they might not get an extended MSA. It's like 50-50 chances. So what do I do?
Yeah, that's a tricky situation, because if you file the LCA based on that and that location, then you are stuck if you are changing the shifting, or they don't have any proof that there's an extension. An email is helpful, but unfortunately, especially for an MSA, it becomes an issue, because usually MSAs are renewed on a regular contract, not just through an email. If it is a matter of then yeah, you can use an email, but not on that. At this point, you might want to just give an explanation that there is an MSA coming through the email, but if you're telling me now that they are not sure, then you have a problem. You need to start over. You start with another end client, and then ultimately, or move from one company to another, and try to get there an end client possible, and redo the whole case, unfortunately. But my approach will be to just hammer on the email and mention the email is good enough. But the problem is that if you yourself are not sure, how are you going to argue that? That's where we have a problem. Okay.
So if you don't get an MSA, you recommend me to go for move to another company and find a new job, like change my employer itself?
Well, at this point, answer the RFE. Okay, argue the RFE first, and in the meantime, look for a backup. Because the company should get you another contract with another end client. Otherwise, without that, you're not going to get an extension or even a transfer. So it's very important now to have this. Okay.
So, which is is there any recommendation moving to another company works better or finding another client?
It's impossible for me to tell because I have to look at all the paperwork that you have submitted. On the radio, sometimes those are specific questions that is very hard to answer in a 1 minute kind of preview. But if you want, give me a call at the office. We'll do a consultation. I'll look at the paperwork, what they file, and the email that you have. But if you don't have an MSA, then pretty much the case is dead, because you're telling me you're not sure of having it, right?
Yeah, I mean, client.
If the client is gone, then the case is gone.
And,
if the client is gone, the case is gone. So you have to be ready to move, or have your company find another end client for you. Okay, give me a call at the office 510-742-5887. We can do a consultation and I can look at it. Okay, let me take another caller, please. Thank you. This is Shah Peerally. You're live on air. Hello.
Hey Shah, how are you doing?
I'm doing well, sir. I'm doing well. What can I do for you?
Yes, so I have two questions. One, can you just go over the time frames of H1, when it would be picked and all that, when we would know?
Okay. Yeah, that's a good question. Let me answer that one, and then you go on the second. Oh, is it linked the two questions, or you want?
No, it's a different one. It's about schools.
Let me go over that. Okay, basically, usually the H1B will be accepted. Since I started late today, I didn't have a chance to go over this. The H1B will be accepted as from April 3rd to April 7th, so the first week, because they're expecting a lottery. Although many people are thinking the lottery will not be that bad this year in terms of number of applications, but still there will be a lottery. So they are going to accept it from 3 to 7. After that, since there are no premium, you're going to start getting receipts as from probably, if they don't get that many cases, probably as from the mid of April to end of April. Receipts are going to start coming up to end of May. Or mid-May, where they will be opening all the packages and tell you which one made it or not. So once you get the receipt, usually that means you are in the lottery. We're talking about new H1B cap, okay? 2018 fiscal year. So that's where it's. Then after that, the processing time will start. Now, usually when you had premium, people were getting an approval in May itself. But now there's no premium. We are expecting, since there's no premium, around 4-month time from the submission. So around August or July, the approvals are going to start coming. And then, based on that, now people will have to go for stamping, or ultimately those who are doing change of status will start on October 1st. But I would say the approvals will come around August, okay? And then as from end of May to August, you should start getting approvals. Okay.
Okay. So, but until end of May, if I don't get an approval notice, it means it's not picked up, right?
No, if you didn't get a receipt, not an approval. Getting a receipt doesn't mean you get approved.
Correct.
But yeah, you will get a receipt probably. They will tell us, but usually they will finish opening it probably earlier this year, because I think the number of applications will be reduced. So the chances will be better for most people, but at the same time there will still be a lottery, because there will still be a lot of applications. Okay?
Gotcha.
Okay. And what was your next
Thank
question?
You.
Go ahead. What was it?
So is it a problem? So right now I'm doing my second master's, and I'm enrolled in one school. So is it a problem if I transfer to a different school, like multiple transfers or something like that, schools?
Why is it a problem? As long as your service is transferred properly, there's no problem, and you go to a
Okay.
school which can do the I-20, no problem. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Good luck to you. Let me
Thank you,
take
sir.
another caller. Thank you. This is Shah Peerally. You're live in here.
Hello, sir. Thanks for taking my call.
You're welcome, sir.
I understand that there is premium processing on hold for H1 extension. So this is applicable for I-140 approval.
I cannot hear you. Do you say premium for I-140?
Premium processing for I-140 approval, will it still be available after April, or
Yes,
will
yes.
also be on?
Yeah, only H-1B is being taken away, I think. The I-140 is still there. Okay?
All right. Thank you, sir.
Okay. You're welcome. Let me. We have one caller on hold, so let me take that one caller, and then we're going to talk a little bit about debt settlement. Let me take the caller. This is Shah Peerally. You're live in here. Okay, I lost the call on it. So, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much, first of all, for waiting on me. And I got stuck in traffic on the 880, and I apologize for that. And also for those who are expecting to file their H1B, please don't send your H1B on April 1st. It will be rejected. It's going to be accepted only on April 3rd to April 7th. So it's very important. And for new companies who want to work with us on the H1B transfers, because now it's kind of late for the H1B, but we never know. There might be no lottery, so you can still do a new H1B. If you need help, we're going to give you a special deal if you're a new company, especially if you're a startup. Please give us a call, 510-742-5887. The website is attorneyonair.com. Let me take one caller. This is Shah Peerally. You're live in here.
Hi, just
Hi.
have a question about I-140.
Yes, sir.
So I have my I-140 approved. The question that I have is if I leave my current job and leave the country as well, is it possible for me to come back and take up a job with a different employer?
Okay. I lost you in the middle, but technically yes, because if you have an I-140 and if you have not passed 6 years, then you can transfer the H-1B, not transfer, but you can get a new employment cap exam based on the same H-1B. And if you have an I-140 beyond 6 years, you can do that. But unfortunately, there are specifics to that, so it depends on the company, depends how they file it, etc. So please make sure that. So the thing is that. So the thing is just unfortunately. It becomes difficult to come back, but it's not that difficult because you can always move to another company and deal with that. So yes, if you're cap exempt, you have an I-140 approved, or you're before 6 years, you can always come back with a new company by doing what we call a new employment cap exempt, and then you get your I-94 at the airport. Okay.
So if I leave the country and then I can still come back, right? But without the H1B, new H1B, I cannot come back to US.
Okay, I'm confused. If you're with the same company, of course you can come back, but that depends if you get a stamp or not get the stamp. It's not an answer which is direct, so it depends on your situation, right? So if you have an H1B with the same company still valid, yes, you can come back with the same company. Let's say you're moving company now. If you're moving company, if you're beyond 6 years, you need to have an I-140 approved. Otherwise, you cannot not really transfer the word, but you cannot move to that other company. So it depends on your situation. But the answer is yes. People do it all the time. It's just a matter of doing it the right way. Okay.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay. Good luck to you. So before I take another caller, Nate, I'm going to talk a little bit about debt settlement because a lot of people ask me about that. The debt settlement is a way to get out of debts without having to file for bankruptcy. So we are helping a lot of people right now, especially people even with second mortgages where they are not able to afford their payment, because we know there are a lot of layoffs going on right now, and they still want to get rid of their debts so that they can start fresh. Check our website, yourdebtsettlementattorney.com, yourdebtsettlementattorney.com. We've been doing a lot of those cases. A lot of people also are getting sued and they have debts on their head, and we can still negotiate those debts. We don't really go to court. We negotiate those debts with the other lawyers or the credit collection companies, etc. We can do it for credit cards. We can do it for second mortgages. We can do it for many other debts. So please give us a call at 510-742-5887. And let me take another call on it. This is Shah Peerally. You're live in here.
Hi, Shah. Thanks for answering my call.
You're welcome, sir.
I'm on H-1B visa, and my first 3 years term on H-1B is over, and my company started filing H-1B extension, and they already filed H-1B extension in premium processing. They sent the documents just yesterday.
Yes.
And after they sent the documents, they emailed me the LCA copy. And when I opened the LCA copy, I found that in the work location, they mistakenly put my home address as work location. And the documents have been already sent, and if it has been delayed just based on LCA, I could have missed premium processing. But anyhow, the documents are already sent, and my work location is around 20 miles from my home is around 20 miles from the work location, and my home zip code has more minimum wage requirement than my work location, and I think the company is offering that extra wage also. But my only concern is is there going to be any implication, though my home is just 20 miles away from the work location?
Yes and no. Are you working for a consulting company or are you working for a company?
No, I'm working for a well-known U.S. company.
Okay. Yeah, then it might be okay because you're within the same metropolitan area, but at the same time, when they file the case, if they put one address and one address on the petitioner's letter and another address on the LCA, they might question that to an RFE, or they might ultimately deny it, saying you give them the wrong LCA. It is possible they will approve it. What I'll do in your situation, I'll probably wait and see. Since it is in the same kind of vicinity within 50 miles, you might be okay. So let's wait and see, and if there is an RFE, then you can give me a call and we can look at the RFE if we can answer it. But at this point in time, yeah, there might be some issues because of the fact the address which is on the petitioner's letter and the I-129 will be different from the LCA. But since the salary is higher plus it's in the same area, they might accept it. But usually it has to be precise, or two addresses or something like that. But unfortunately, depending on the officer, they might approve it, or they might deny it, or they might send an RFE, and then you'll have to explain. Okay? Okay. Good luck to you. Let me know if you need help. 510-742-5887. Website attorneyonair.com. We have a lot of callers, and I'm going to take as many as I can, ladies and gentlemen. I have 10 more minutes to go, so I'll take the calls quickly. This is Shah Peerally. You're live in air.
Hi, this is Raj again from Washington. I forgot to ask you one question,
yes,
please,
sir.
if you have time.
Go ahead quickly because I have two more callers. Go ahead.
Yeah, sure. My company I-140 is approved green card, and if the Deloitte company, if they start green card, are there any chances because of the company change green card process is rejected? Are there any risk, or is it a risk-free kind of thing?
It doesn't matter which company you're working for. Any company can file for your green card for future employment. But there are other issues that might be involved, like for example the ability to pay, etc. when they do the I-140. But one will not cut the other. So as long as they're continuing, it's up to them. Okay.
Okay. So there will not be any much risk in terms of the company changing in the middle of the green card processing if they initiate the new company.
What do you mean company changing? Right? You mean they're buying the company? Is it a merger and acquisition, or is it just a company, you are shifting company?
No, I am going to change the company. That's the plan. So the new company,
there's no
green card.
Yeah, so it's very hard to analyze like that. You might want to call me and I'll tell you, because technically there's no problem to have. It's not a green card. It's the labor can be filed, and I-140 can be filed for two different companies. It doesn't matter at the same time. But it might create some issues if they put different information on each, then one will contradict the other. So it's very hard to tell if there's a problem or not. So only when I look at it, then I can tell you. But in general, there's no problem. Okay.
Okay. Thank you so much.
Okay. Good luck to you, sir. Let me take two more callers quickly. This is Shah Peerally. You're live in here.
Hello.
Hello. Hi.
Yes. Hi, Shah. This is Jagrati. How are you?
Hi, Jagrati. How are you doing?
I'm doing good. You're doing a great job for community.
Thank you.
Shah, I have a question for you.
Yes.
Especially for the parents. If your parent has surrendered a green card and then you want to file again, how complicated it is, how easy it is?
It's not complicated. It's just a matter of refiling it if they have surrendered it. If they have just kept it limbo, they have to surrender it first, then reapply. You just have to go to the same process again, except this time when you file, you have to mention there was a green card before and use the same A number. But it's not complicated. I've done it for a couple of cases. I have one case where they did it 3 times. So it's not very complicated, except you need to put the information right.
Right. And what do you think? How long is the process?
Are they here or in India?
Can you come again?
Are they here or they are in India?
No, in India.
Okay, in India it's taking like 8 months to 1 year. If they are here within 6-7 months, you get it. If they are, for example,
it's a good idea to bring them here and then file.
That's a $1 million question, because if you bring them with the intention of doing that, then you might have issues on the visa you bring them on. But if they are already here and then you file it, then there's no issue because the intention was not there before they came in. So, for example, let's say they were here visiting and you suddenly decide you want to file it, then you're okay. But if you already plan it and you come, then it becomes an issue of fraud on the visitor visa.
Right.
But apart from that, no. Here it's easier.
For me, I'm not even sure my parents will be agreeing to green card. I'm just keeping that option open. No.
Yeah, most of them don't. Jagrati. They just come here and they get tired of here and they take off. That's why I tell people to think well before filing. It's better keep them on visitor visa, because ultimately they just want to give up on it. Okay? Call me when you have some time.
Bye.
Thank you. Take care, Jagrati. Nice hearing from you. Let me take one last caller. Nate, this is Shah Peerally. You're live on air.
Hi, Shah. I have a question on my H1B extension.
Yes.
So my company applied a H1B extension this Monday. They sent the documents this Monday on premium processing. So we did not got any receipt until now. Now, if I don't get the receipt number tomorrow, will this be considered as regular processing?
Well, it's hard to answer because a lot of people are having this problem, including myself with my cases. But technically, if you mailed it while the premium processing is there, you can always argue you filed it. But they have a right to refuse premium processing. Many people don't know that. They can refuse it if their system has not registered it on time. But I'm pretty sure, did you check if it was delivered on your postal?
Yeah, it shows it delivered.
Okay, so I think you will get it under premium. Just cross your fingers, but they have a right to reject the premium, unfortunately. But yeah, just be ready not to be on premium. But I'm hoping if you file it on time before the 3rd, it should be on premium. Okay then.
Thanks.
Good luck to you. I think I can take one more caller, Nate. I don't know. I think I'm almost done now. So, ladies and gentlemen, I wanted to thank you all for listening to our show. And I really apologize today for coming late. And luckily, we had Amit in the beginning, and I really appreciate that. And also, thank you, Nate, for really kind of holding things together for me. Unfortunately, I kind of didn't realize that I would be taking so long on the 880 today. And also, just to let people know, we also do debt settlement, and we are helping a lot of people. You can check the website yourdebtsettlementattorney.com. And for those who missed our show, I try my best to upload them on YouTube, youtube.com/Shah Peerally Law, Shah Peerally Law, and please subscribe to this. I wanted to say special hi and thank you to all my friends and everybody for basically listening to the show. And also for those that need a consultation, feel free to reach out to us, 510-742-5887. And also, I wanted to mention right now things are tough. A lot of people are really under panic mode. There are reasons to panic, no question about it. But at the same time, look at it from a different perspective. There are ways to basically deal with things in a way that you don't panic. Don't panic and do things that will create more problems on you, because I'm getting a lot of calls where people will call me, they will do anything just to stay here. The problem by trying to do that, it can block your good chance of getting something good down the road. So trying to stay here and holding to something which is not strong is not worth it. You're better off going to the right path and do the right thing and make sure that you're getting a green card or a visa in the right way, because a lot of people who are really, they don't really care. They will take your money and do cases like that. Doesn't mean we win all the cases, because it will be a lie to say that. But at the end of the day, we are legitimately basically telling you that you should not panic. But at the same time, if you're also traveling, big warning on traveling. Unless it's necessary to travel, we're not recommending people to travel, although most cases are having no problem coming back. So based on that, we will keep you informed. Check our website, check our YouTube channel, check all our forum. We have splawforum.com. splawforum.com is getting a lot of traction now. I will try my best to answer questions there too. And I wanted to thank you all for listening. It's been almost now 7 years we've been on the radio, and I'm very proud of that. And I thank Nate for really being here all the time again. And also for people who need help, not only with immigration, feel free to call us at 510-742-5887. Website to check, attorneyonair.com. Good luck to you all. We'll be back on next Thursday from 10 to 11. And on Friday night, I think midnight, the show will be repeating this show. Good luck to you. Take care. Bye-bye.